have a farm out in Simsbury, and it's primarily an educational farm. We also grow food for families that don't have enough to eat. So the food's going to social services and to our food pantries. Our summer program is a chance for the kids to get dirty with a purpose and to actually get into the fields, help with the produce, help get it out to people, as well as learn about animal husbandry. And we brought some of our furry friends today. They also get to do old-fashioned arts and crafts, cooking, fort building, all sorts of things.
They get to muck out stables and pick weeds, too.
But they're unplugged, and they're doing some really good work, and they're helping in the community. So that's what our summer camp's about.
And there's no cell phones around.
No cell phones allowed. They're all unplugged.
And they're quite happy being unplugged as well, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
I've been to Gifts of Love and seen all your wonderful produce, and it really makes such a tremendous difference.
Yes.
It sure does.
Yeah.
All the fresh produce.
We have some of our volunteers here today. This is Lynn, and she has Sadie with us, and this is Marion over here. She helped me get the goat in the back of my car so we could come here today.
Members of the Society for Creative Anachronism, a nonprofit organization that recreates life in the Middle Ages. We do a lot of the things that were done in the Middle Ages. This is a small segment of what our organization does. We're an international organization, mostly in the United States, but we have groups all over the world, Australia and Europe. And as you know, people are fascinated with how our ancestors did things. At the far end of the table, we have Baron Mark doing chainmail. Next we have Lady Aurelia, making butter in a medieval churn. This is Carlian. What she's doing is called sprang. It's a style of weaving that makes a very stretchy fabric that can be used for hair nets or carrying bags. Anything that requires a lot of stretch and give side to side in the fabric, sprang is ideal for that. She also in front of her has a technique called lucette weaving, which is used for making cords, which you can use to lace up garments or anything that you would use a cord to hold or tie. And what I have here is tablet or card weaving, which was used from ancient times up through the Middle Ages and even beyond to make anything that you would use. Need a strong, narrow piece of soft fabric to either tie or decorate an edge like the edges of my sleeves. So I've used both decoratively and functionally, and these are just a handful of the things that we do in our group.
So the Simsbury High School has had a fencing club since 2002. We're a winter sport, and we are out here today for the team members to raise awareness about fencing, because not a lot of people know that there is a team. So we've got each of our 3 weapons. We've got the full outfit that our foil fencers wear when they're competing. And of course, we've got some activities that include some Star Wars related things for May the 4th be with you.
Hi, my name is Pam, and I have a sleepover business that I do. What I do is I bring the setups to you, I set everything up, and I pick it up the next day. You and your kids get to enjoy this lovely, lovely decor. I have various themes for both boys and girls, and I also do custom.
Yeah, so we've been making it for over 25 years, and we have from mild all the way to spicy, from one end to the other. It's all top round beef. It's a good quality beef jerky we make in our store in Southington. We're doing samples today so people could try it before they buy it.
So we are here today doing a raffle for a free $15,000 window and door makeover. We do have our exclusive Andersen window here. It's made of a Fibrex material. We are also doing free in-home consultations, so if you do need anything done to your windows, need someone to come out to your home, take a look at them, we could do that for you. It's completely free to have us come out, and yeah, we could give you a good idea of how our windows are and how everything works with us.
I'm Dr. Z. I have my PhD in evolutionary biology. I'm one of our science teachers at Talcott Mountain Science Center. So we are here talking about our summer programs and getting ready to recruit more students for our academy next year. We do a ton of stuff. We're on top of a mountain, and we are really geared towards our academy is for gifted and talented, those kind of fun, crazy, nerdy students. And our summer programs are for everyone, kindergarten through 8th grade. So we have a ton of different kind of STEM programs. We mix some science and art. We also do like technology, robotics, animation, but I'm a biologist, so I do a lot of our biology stuff. We do dissections, marine science. We actually take a trip to the beach. I study bugs, so I do a couple of different bug programs for different age ranges. I brought some of my cockroaches if you want to see them.
Oh, look at the size of these things. They're enormous.
So these are some of my friends. I'm always big on hands-on, letting kids get to see, hold, experience, do things for themselves.
I have to touch this.
All right. Yep. So he's got kind of a waxy coating. They're very smooth, very friendly, and that's kind of an anti-predator defense, so that if they're waxy and slippery, you can't grab them very well. And these are some examples of some of the work that our older students get to do. Our 8th graders did fetal pig dissection, so I brought the pig brain and some intestines and hearts. You know, the kids always love to come and see these. And I've got to show you one of our art projects over here. So one of our programs where we were learning about mixing science and art, we actually had students animate some paintings that they did. So they have this science theme painting, and then we have this app where they entered in their animation. And if you point it at the painting, you can actually see their animation on the screen. So we do a little bit of everything.
Here with a gentleman from Electric Bike Conversion. His name's Justin. He's going to tell us all about this wonderful bicycle that he has.
So I bought this Fat Tire mountain bike and a electric bike conversion kit off of eBay. And I swapped the tire onto the hub last night before I came. And now here at the Maker Faire, I'm going to be taking this kit with a controller and new handlebar brakes and a throttle. And I'm going to make a battery out of recycled lithium-ion batteries to power it. And we'll see if I could figure out the whole process here in the afternoon, and hopefully I'll be able to have an electric bike.
Do you do this often?
I'm a hobbyist. This is my first time attempting both the bicycle swap and the battery build here.
I'm Thomas. I'm a member at Nesset over in Meriden, Connecticut. These are some of the projects that I've built. I do a bit of rocketry. This is one of the smaller ones, but had to make it fit on the table. This one went about 1.2 Mach, as well as 7,500 feet in the air. I've also done some projects like this wooden computer case, where I laser cut this on our 60-watt laser, designed it all myself, and put it all together. As well as also some little electronics. This is a PlayStation 4 controller that I designed. It's a quarter scale of a full arcade controller layout.
Oh, hi. Yeah. So today I'm actually going to be demonstrating a 3D printer. I brought a small Delta printer with me just to show it because kids tend to like the kinematics on it, the moving arms and all that. It looks cool. And then I brought a kit build computer, which I have to go out and get still. And I'm going to be building that live here at the fair to just spark conversation, hopefully, and show how it's done.
Well, Two Coyotes is a very purist approach to nature. The kids will take their shoes off and walk in the rivers and catch crawfish. We do a lot of primitive skills with them. So we'll make baskets out of bark, and the kids will learn how to make fire from scratch. We like to call it invisible learning because the kids are out there in nature, really involved, a lot of unstructured play, and they really get to understand what nature is all about. My son has been going since he's been 5. I just love the school. He knows all about nature, wild edible plants. He can identify every single wild edible plant that's out there. I think he knows more about nature than I do at this point. So it's a great school. It's in Granby at Holcomb Farm. and it's summer camp all summer long.
So I sell primarily laser cut items. So all of these things up front here are laser cut acrylic, wood. I have some chipboard posters over here. I belong to the makerspace in Hartford called Make Hartford. It's on Arbor Street at Real Artways. And for a membership fee, you can go and use the laser cutter, 3D printer, CNC machine, whatever you want. They got a wood shop too. And I design in Adobe Illustrator and then bring it over to the laser cutter, do a lot of testing and figuring out, and I end up with this.
Well, probably about 3 years ago, I was in the grocery store, and the lettuce was really terrible, and I thought I can do better than that. So I learned all about hydroponics and aeroponics and started designing my own systems, and this is the culmination, probably about the 5th version, and it just uses spray about every 5 minutes. It runs a little spray cycle to mist the roots. All the water is kept in the bottom. It's about 10 liters or about 3 gallons of water, and it's controlled by a little Raspberry Pi right there.
I love pies.
It's got a wireless interface that runs to your phone or a computer, whatever, and displays the nutrient level and the water temperature and the pH, which are important things so that you can tell if things are going wrong and you can fix them. When the water goes low, it'll send you a text so that you know you need to add a little more water. And it's just a way of getting really fresh lettuce without much effort. So it's modular, so you can stack it up to 4 tall. And right now it's just small, so it's movable.
So how long does it take to grow lettuce that size?
This is about 3 months old.
Uh-huh.
After about a month, you can start picking leaves, and you just pick them in the back, and new ones grow in. So you get about 2 months worth of lettuce from each plant, and it's you can supply a lot of lettuce with a full 4 module system. So if you had a large family, you'd never have to buy lettuce again.
In this room, currently, we have our robot that we built during the year for our high school team. This is sort of what we do. So every day during the week, we spend 4 hours after school designing and building a robot towards a game that we are given to design for. And so this is a robot we came up with, and so we're having kids have a chance to try it out and experience what we do, and hopefully they can join the team when they get in high school. And then we also have a lot of other events here. We have these little cube things. I think they're called cubelets. And so people can sort of design little robots with them, and each cube does its own little individual task. And we have these little challenges, and it's just a more accessible way to understand and develop robotics. Then we also have a Lego Mindstorm over there that Vito has been working on and showing around. So there's a lot going on here.
All right, so here we have kids who are making lightsabers out of pool noodles and duct tape. So they're adding their on-off switches and their power tabs, and then they're going to check them in our lightsaber check and pick them up at the end of the day. We have marshmallow and spaghetti structures. So we have some young engineers here building with marshmallows and spaghetti, and they're making all kinds of cool creations.
The museum is in Torrington, Connecticut. It's Kids Play Children's Museum, and we offer a lot of dramatic play for the children and a lot of educational resources that are available to them. Today we are working on newspaper structures. The children are taking recycling materials, and they're creating structures that they can fit inside of. So they're learning about the strength of squares versus triangles in terms of building, and they're using their creativity. If they'd like to align it with May the 4th and build spaceships, that's awesome too. But they've come up with great designs.
Lions Club is the Simsbury Lions Club is part of an international set of Lions Clubs, and our motto is "We Serve." And all the money that we make from any of our ventures goes to different community projects, scholarships. We work a lot at the Senior Center doing Super Tuesdays. We just did a big pancake breakfast at St. Mary's, and All the proceeds go right to the scholarships at Simsbury High School.
What about the friends here?
The funds here, they go to, all the money that we will make here is going to go to different community ventures. It will go, it's split up into different things. Community center, we do to Fidelco, we do to charity organizations, and we have specific organizations. Diabetes is a big one. Vision, our big goal is vision for children. We do a lot of screening in the Simsbury schools and all the daycare and preschools. We do the coffee house at the library the third Friday of every month. We are the hosts and we put out all the refreshments, and it's a wonderful time of music and community.
These are little robots that can read the combinations that are on the paper. If it's black, if it's blue, black, blue, it's supposed to go faster. And there it goes, faster. Some of them tell them to go slower, some of them say jump left, some of them say spin. We've seen tornado work where it spins around a couple of times, and that's kind of cool. And the kids seem to be having fun with it. And they're donated by the Friends of the Library.
Hi, so my book is a contemporary young adult story about a 16-year-old's journey to overcome mental illness. I started struggling with mental illness when I was 13 years old, and writing really saved my life. So one of the reasons I wrote the book was to help other people who might be struggling or create understanding, start a discussion about a topic that's so stigmatized these days.
Okay, so do you have any friends that have read them that say, oh yeah, this is great? Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you did this, because I think too many teens feel isolated when they're not well.
I've had people who've read the book actually reach out to me about their experience and talk about how they were able to relate, and it's just so powerful. And you're right, more people do need to talk about this, and it's sad that it's not talked about as much as it should be, because there's so much shame associated with it, and that's not fair. Like, I didn't choose for this to happen to me, and nobody else who struggles with mental illness did.
Thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for writing that book.
I have 3 categories here. I have banquet table centerpieces. I've got some night lights here. And then I have illuminated merchandising that were actually built around the products here. This is a hanging ceiling fixture. And I'm going to try to get it, I'm going to talk to Sephora and see if I can get one of these off the ground at Sephora stores. But these are my examples that I've been working on for the last several months. And I used to make neon signs in the 1990s.
This is called a badge-a-minute machine. And with it, you can make buttons with any artwork you want. There you go. So if you know what you want to say, you can say it at the library. It lives in the makerspace, and it's easy.
A little bit about the game. The game is a combination of chess, Stratego, and Risk. It's a strategy plus dice rolling game. All the pieces I made on my own 3D printers at home. I designed the pieces and everything. And I'm just out here to sample out the game and show people it.
Hi, my name's Robert. I've been miniature gaming since I was 10 years old. I designed using a 3D printer here at the Simsbury Library. I design my own buildings, print them, paint them, and use different materials for the ground, stone, and it's fun. The library has helped make things out. I play a game called Warhammer 40K, which takes place in the future. Some of the different vehicles are used in this gaming system. It's just fun. I've always believed that everybody should have a hobby, and this is my hobby, and I'm proud of it.
Do a lot of things. I do some laser cutting and 3D printing. I do leather work. I have Lego creations and a lot of models and miniature work.
I teach the kids who come here will be able to make their own keychains with the leather work, and I can explain to them how I did all the 3D printing and the laser cutting. Cutting, as well as, you know, talk a little bit about the Lego and the miniatures.
I make custom puppets, but the majority of my business is teaching classes to both adults and kids on how to make puppets. And there's two main types of puppets that I'm showing here. The big ones in the back here, those are all what are called foam patterned puppets. So you take flat foam, kind of like this, and you glue it together. Kind of like that to make a head, and that makes a half a head. If you kind of look inside there, you can kind of see how it all comes together. Like, ooh, that's okay. And then, yeah, he lost his head. And then the mouth plate that's in there is like that, and that's how you work it. And because it has a double hinge to it, it gives you a lot of movement. You can move it back and forth, and you can have like an underbite or kind of that, which it gives you a lot of expression that you can have. And this is kind of the underside to the bodies of those puppets too. Two kinds of foam that I use. This is a reticulated poly foam. It's a little stronger and lasts longer, but it costs a little more. And then the other ones is like this thin foam that's very soft. This one is better when I'm doing this new style, which I use. I make a silicone skin, so that's silicone with like powdered makeup in it to give it the colors and things. But if you look at the inside, it looks the same as the other ones, kind of, because it's the same basic idea. This one I just made a clay version first, and then made a new pattern, so I'd get that kind of lip on the front there. And then the other types of puppets that I have are these are foam carved puppets. And they have a mechanism inside, so here's what the mechanism looks like. And that's if you put a string on that eye hook there and pull, that's how you make it work. And that's how you make the muffins talk. And then I'm doing a different version. This one's not done yet. This is going to be an apple. A talking apple, of course, a talking apple. I mean, just to have an apple, that wouldn't be exciting. Right. So yeah, so that's gonna have using the silicone technique. I'm gonna make like a red skin for it, and that should cover up the seam on that too. And yeah, so that's the majority. These are the adult classes I do, and then there's kids classes I do as well. This is a kids version. Kids can't do some of these ones. It's just a little too dangerous from the tools that we use to do it. So I came up with a different way of making one that kids can handle as well.
It's basically you take string and then you put beads on them, and then I don't know, but you like add like a knot at the end, and you can put it like you can like make it so like I made one, and you can like take it off, okay, and make it shorter or longer.
Okay, so it's up to a person's imagination what they want to do. All right, looks like a lot of fun.
My name is Christopher Carney. I'm an adult services librarian here at Simsbury Public Library. And what we have back here is an Oculus Rift virtual reality setup. So that just means that once somebody is in the headset, they're able to see in 3D what everybody else is seeing on the screen. So they're able to experience a game or a world or anything else through the headset. So it's a fully immersive world, a fully immersive experience. And it's a lot of fun to kind of play with and experience.
Hold the grounding wire in one hand, or you can hold them in the same hand, and then you can tap the tangerines, and so the electricity goes through your body from the grounding wire to what's connected to the computer. So it's like it becomes a controller. It's really cool. And there's lots of programs, like he's playing Tetris. It's really neat.
I'm a school librarian and I work in Bloomfield, and I have this Makerspace club, and I got this idea from a book. It's actually from this really cool Art of Tinkering book. Sorry. Yep. And the idea is that you take some old garbage bags and you layer them like a sandwich. You can put different colored paper in between or tissue paper, and you can make fused fabric. So I actually made this out of out of tissue paper and old bags, and I sewed it into a pouch. So today I'm making little necklaces with the young people that stop by. I'm just taking some different color bags and layering them into a sandwich. Like I'll put this red on the back. Then I take a little piece of scrap paper. This is scrapbooking paper, just to make it a little more festive. This is parchment paper, which helps to, so you don't melt your paper your plastic onto the iron. And then I just iron it on medium. So, and I'm gonna flip it over, iron the other side. And then it's fused. Oops. Oh, so there's maybe still a little more fusion to be done, but basically you can cut this and trim it, and then we punch a hole and we make little necklaces.